When adding student resources to your instructional course, it's highly recommended that you work within plans. We recommend the usage of plans for building of student resources for several different reasons. First, this allows for you to associate a student resource with a broad scope and sequence of the consideration of the unit and then lessons within that particular unit. This allows for you to connect the specific student resource with a specific unit, lesson, topic, or experience within your plans. This allows for a complete picture of the flow in which you will take to use the student resource within your curriculum. It's also because when you add a student resource through the planner, it will associate the student resource with any connected standards within that particular plan within your plan's structure. So for example, if I'm going to be teaching the teamwork unit opener and I would like to add my own student resource, when I select the add under the student resources and learning experiences column, and then I select show all, I have all of the student resources located at the top of my screen that I can select to add to that particular lesson. So for example, maybe I am going to be adding a link. The link that I'm adding is to a teamwork video from Discovery Ed. Once I add my teamwork video, and then close that window. Notice that now my teamwork link is living within the planner associated with the specific plan for my teamwork lesson. It's also connected to my teamwork standards, the content standards that I'm going to be specifically addressing through my facilitation of this lesson. One thing to consider is that when you build within the plans, it auto-populates your resources folder structure. That means that anything that I build here within my plans will auto-populate a folder for the unit within resources. So when I go into resources, I have a unit folder for each one of the folders that has been, or each one of the units that's been created in plans. Something to be mindful of. It only populates a folder per unit. That means that my curriculum writers have gone in and done some organization by adding their own folders for each one of my particular lessons that I'm going to be teaching within my unit teamwork. Notice where my teamwork student resource was added. That means that any resource that I add within the plans is only going to go to the unit level folder. So that might be tricky if you're trying to use the resources to find any of your resources that you add to your course. But what I can easily do is select this link that I just added, and I can say action, and I can move it to, the appropriate folder, which is the unit opener folder. And now that link is now living in my unit opener folder in resources, just as it's living within my unit opener teamwork here within plans. So we would always encourage the usage of plans, not only because of the full scope and sequence of being able to look at your curriculum as you're adding student resources, but also because of the connection to the standards that are aligned to the particular lesson. And then finally, one of the biggest pieces, which we talked about when we talked about using the date in the planner, is that when I set a date here, it's going to auto-populate any active resources right on the overview page for my students, and it only does that when I work within plans.